Okay, so I'm gonna be talking about velocity banking, my velocity banking journey. Credit to Denzel Rodriguez, Sam, Joseph Smith, and all the other YouTubers that has introduced this strategy to me, and I'm gonna apply it the way I understand it. So this is my personalized journey. Okay, so let's talk about it. I first learned about velocity banking in the summer of 2019. The concept is really powerful, powerful stuff, and I cannot wait to dive in to it. So let me give you guys some information. Okay, so currently velocity banking is a strategy that um, helps you to pay off your debt at the speed of light, velocity, right? So it helps you to pay off your debt faster. So instead of you making the regular minimum payments, you're paying off your debts faster. And the reason why it's called velocity is because you're taking chunks, you're taking chunks of payments, you're applying it to a large debt um, with uh, a large debt that has an amortized schedule. You're taking, okay, so let's break it down. Velocity banking, right? They're both debts, they both cost money, but you have amortized debt and you have simple interest debt. Now, amortized debt is the debts like student loans, mortgage, car payments, loans in general. Anything that gives you a time frame in order to pay it back, a set payment schedule. A simple interest debt is like a credit card, a line of credit, a HELOC. They cannot give you an amortized schedule to pay it back because they don't know when you'll pay it back. You could pay it back right after you borrow it. You could pay it back in 2 years, 10 years. They don't know when. So they cannot give you a schedule of when to pay it. So basically, with the amortized debt, the interest is, let's say, 3.5% over 30 years because guess what? They know that you borrowed that money and you have 30 years to pay that back. On a loan, personal, like a HELOC or credit card, the interest rate is probably 6.75%, but it's calculated daily because guess what? They don't know when you'll pay back that interest. So they calculate the interest on the balance daily. So with the velocity banking, what it does is, say for instance, you have a personal line of credit or a PLOC for $10,000 and you have a car that you have $25,000 owed on. The personal line of credit is at 12.5%. The car is at 6.9%, right? But the car is a loan that's amortized for 72 months. The PLOC is a loan that's simple interest, where the interest is calculated daily. Now, on the PLOC, if you have $10,000, but you have all $10,000 available to you, and you don't use any of the money, you're paying no interest. On the car, they're charging you interest on whatever the principal balance is, which is $25,000. So your PLOC now has 10,000. You're gonna chunk, and from my understanding, chunk the rule is like 66% or 50% or however much percent you want to leave some wiggle room in the PLOC. But to me, it all depends on the income you make. Like if you make $10,000 a month and your PLOC is $10,000, I would chunk the whole 10 grand because I know in a month I'm gonna be able to pay that off or all the way off. I'm gonna be able to pay it off. So when you take $10,000, right, and you chunk it to the car, meaning you make a principal only payment to your car, you're gonna wipe off 10,000 off the car. So now you're gonna owe 15,000. Remember it was 25,000. You're gonna owe 15,000 on the car, but now you're gonna owe 10,000 on the PLOC because you just transfer the money from the PLOC to the car. So now you're gonna still owe 15,000 on the car, and you're gonna owe 10,000 on the PLOC. Now here's where it gets interesting. When you do that sweep, that transfer, right? You save so much money on interest. The savings on interest is tremendous. Just put it in a financial calculator, amortization calculator, and it will show you how much interest you save, right? Then when you go on the PLOC side, they're gonna start charging you 12.5% every day on that $10,000. But the goal here is to not leave your PLOC that you just transferred the 10,000 out of for a long time, because the interest is gonna kill you because it's a higher interest. How it becomes velocity is you're using all your income. You get paid every 2 weeks, so you get paid $5,000 every 2 weeks. You're gonna use all your income and you're gonna put it on the PLOC, right? The PLOC, and it's gonna reduce it. So, say you chunked at the beginning of the month 10,000, right? And you get paid the 14th of the month, right? The PLOC is just gonna charge you 14 days worth of interest until you pay 5,000. Then you're gonna have a $5,000 balance, and you're gonna get paid in 2 more weeks. So you're gonna have 14 more days of interest. So calculate the interest, if you calculate the interest, it's gonna be like pennies on the dollar. But then when you compare the amount of interest you saved by chunking and the interest that got charged, they wash out. It's like you paid nothing in interest, really, because if you saved $1,000 in interest on your car and you only paid $300 in interest on the PLOC by doing the chunk, what did you pay? You paid nothing. You saved um you saved $800. So it's really like nothing. Now, let me caution you guys with the chunk amounts. Okay, so let me give you my situation. Okay. So when I started, I didn't have any, you have to have debt weapons. And when I say debt weapons, I mean either a credit card, a personal line of credit, or a HELOC. A lot of us aren't gonna get a HELOC because a lot of us don't have a house. And even those of us that have a house, we don't have the equity in the house to get the HELOC. So the easiest thing to get is a credit card or a personal line of credit. Now, when I started, I didn't have, I had a credit card, but like a $750 limit that couldn't do squat. So I got started and I was like, okay, I was in the process of buying a house. So I applied my credit was in the dumps, and I think I was suffering from not having enough credit. So my credit score was, so I just said on a whim, while I was in the house buying process, I applied to few credit cards. I applied to Citi, Citi Costco card because I shop at Costco all the time, and I would use my debit card to buy stuff. And I'm like, I want to use a credit card, but they only take Visa credit cards. And I'm like, I want to use a credit card. So I took a chance and I applied for a Costco's Anywhere card. I applied for an American Express card because everybody has an American Express card and I wanted one. So I applied. And I think I applied for a Citi, American Express, and one more card. I don't remember. But when I applied for the Citi card, it says you're approved for $7,500. I was jumping up and down. Listen, that's my first big girl card. I never had a card with such a limit that high before. And when I applied for that card, what it did, it made my credit score jump, I think 50 plus points. So my credit score back before I got the house was like 705. I think it was 711. It was really high. So that credit card did something good for me. In most other cases, it could reduce your score, but it made my score jump. So I got that. I went through with the house on and off, wanting to decide whether or not to buy it, yes or no. Then I said, I'm gonna take the plunge. I got the house. Um, I have the $7,500 credit card, but then I want to do the velocity banking, but I'm not there yet. So I'm like, okay, I spent from October to December watching every video. Thank you, Denzel. Watch Watching every video on the topic. Saturdays I would just watch the videos from morning till evening, like I was just entrenched on learning everything that I possibly could on implementing this strategy for myself and my family. And so, thank God, my husband and I make a decent living. We make a decent living, so that's not a big issue. And I don't consider myself having a lot of debt. I didn't have a lot of debt. I had a student loan for 64,000, uh, two cars. Stupid me got went and got two new cars, and that was like at 40,000 at the time, or more than 40. Yeah, I think around 45,000 at the time. And I didn't have any credit card debt because I didn't have any credit card. And so I had some money, but then my husband's dad died in October, so we had to go to Jamaica and we spent some money, and we had to buy the house. It cost us like $17,000 to get it. And I think at the end, the last quarter of 2019, we kind of spent some money, so our financial picture wasn't clear. So I didn't want to chunk. So I December, I'm like, okay, you have some money left over, because when you buy a house, you don't have to pay mortgage until the month after. So come January, had some money. Then I applied. So I said, okay, I want a PLOC now. So in October, I applied to a credit union for a PLOC. They gave me $3,000. Now, $3,000 can't do nothing now. Nothing. Like, what can that do? My income is more than that. So I'm like, what do I even do with that? I wasn't even going to use it. So I with 3,000 plus 7,000, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was $10,500. So now I have $10,500 of credit available to me. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start chunking on that. But the thing is, we have the two cars that we want to chunk on. Want to get rid of that because that's like $966 a month we're sending to Honda, and it's just annoying. So we just want to chunk on the car. So come January, I was like, I'm gonna chunk. January come, I didn't chunk, but I had the money. I had the money. I think I did some other stuff. I don't know. But come February this month, I decided to do my first chunk of $7,000 on my car. Trust me. When I look on the balance now, the balance says $12,000, right? $12,000. I was always good with paying off my debts because I got this car. It was at 38,000, brand new when I got it in 2017, 17, 18, 19. So in 2 years, I had got it down to 20,000. So I would consider that good, in my opinion. I don't know. In my opinion, I would consider that good. So, but now look on my balance, it's at 12,000 for one of my cars, and the other car is at 18,000. I chunked $7,000 on the car. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm not save I'm not gonna be saving a lot of interest on the car because remember, with amortized loans, the interest is front loaded. So because I had the car and I paid it, the interest is it's like I'm paying more in principal than interest. But the car was 72 months, people, and I had the car in 2017, May of 2017. 2017, May 17, 18, 19. 2 years. And I paid 18,000 on that car. So 72 months, I'm killing it anyway without this tragedy. I was killing it. I was thinking about this tragedy long before, but I didn't even know what it was called. But I wasn't even doing it properly. So now I have the information. I'm doing this tragedy as properly as I can. So now, currently, I have my car at 12,000. One of my cars is 12,267 and 33, and the other car is at 18,000. So basically 31,000 I owe on the car. So two more chunks, people, and I'm done with car one. Moving, and then I'm gonna move on to car two. Then I'm gonna be done with car two. Then only thing I'm gonna have left is my student loans and my house. Now I'm gonna work on my house. Then I'm gonna jump back over to the student loans and get that out of the way. But for right now, I'm gonna work on my house. So let me tell you guys what I currently have now. My four major numbers, as Denzel calls it. So income, my combined income is $10,434. My debts, all my debts, is 438,337. $438,337. My living expenses is $5,747.09. I'm just gonna say 6,000. I'm just gonna say 6,000. My cash flow is $4,686.91. So That's where I'm at right now. And my assets is my income. I have some money in a 401k, but I'm not even gonna touch, not 401k, a Roth IRA, but I'm not even gonna touch that. And that's not even a lot of money. Okay, so total, I have a total credit card. My total credit is $20,851. Now, Andrew Smith taught me something new. Those the difference between cash cards and store cards. So the cash cards are the cards I have Discover, American Express, the cash Discover, American Express, Visa. Those are the cards you could use everywhere. The store cards are the cards like Home Depot, Macy's, TJ Maxx, the ones that you could only use in the store. So right now, I have $7,500 in a cash card. I have $751 in one. So basically, I have seven, eight, seven, eight, seven, 8, and $3,000 on the personal line of credit. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11. So basically, I have $11,000. But the card for 751, I'm not even going to use it for Velocity Banking because it's just too small, and it messes up my utilization. Messes up the utilization, and I just don't want to bother with it. So my husband has a card for 1,500. I'm not even gonna use it either. Let him stay with his card. I'm just gonna use it my card and the personal line of credit. So right now my credit score is at a 681, and I just applied for an American Express card and I got it. It was $1,000. But my problem right now that I'm suffering from is not enough credit. I need a bigger leverage. I need a bigger leverage. I need more money. But I can't get more. My credit is 680. That's not bad. But they keep on saying, everybody's saying my income to expense, not my income to expenses. My let me see what it says. Everybody keeps saying this. So on my American Express app, as of February 12, 2020, my credit score is 681. And it keeps saying serious delinquent and ratio of balance limit to bank revolving is too high. Because the thing is, I don't have a lot of credit. So basically, when I use, like, I chunked $7,000. It really like maxed out all my cards. Like all my cards are at 100% utilization, and that hurts my score. I need to stay below 1%. I know that, and when I did that and went below 1%, I saw my credit go up 35 points. I've done it already, and I can do it. But um, so here was my thinking, right? My goal is to get more credit so I could have more leverage when I attack this mortgage. Because remember, this mortgage is 300 and something thousand. So I'm going to need a bigger shovel to dig more dirt. I can't use $10,000 to, what is that going to do to my mortgage? It's better than doing nothing, but it's not really going to do anything. So my focus was to um, pay off my cars, get my utilization down, get that serious delinquent. I don't even, you know what that serious delinquent is? I saw everybody giving me that serious delinquent. And I'm like, what the heck is that? So I called up all these people trying to find out because there was a before Time Warner Cable became Charter, they had put me in collection. So I'm thinking that they are the ones that is putting that mark on my profile, and they're like, nah, we didn't. So I said, okay, let me order a copy of my credit report to see what the hell is this serious delinquent. And you know what the serious delinquent is? It's a chase card that I opened back in 2006. It first became delinquent long time ago, right? So it done past the 7 year statute of limitations. And here's what I did. I'm telling you, I didn't understand this stuff. I think in 2018 I settled with them. So that restart the clock. So that's what that serious delinquent is. But I follow this group on Facebook called Credit Warriors, and I decided to buy a copy of their credit repair kit, self repair kit, and I am slowly working on repairing my credit. So the first thing that I did that the book said you're supposed to do, their handbook, is you need to update all your personal information. Like get your report and let clean up all your old addresses, your old names, everything. Just put the current information. So I did that. I sent it to them. The second thing is because when you clean off your credit, like your name, old addresses, it's harder for when you send out a debt validation letter. It's harder for them to find and put the information together because you don't send a request for them to delete all the old information. So when you try to when all the old information is deleted and you now go to validate a debt, they can't accurately validate it because that old info is gone. So that's my thinking, and I hope that's how it works. So I sent that letter to update my personal info. They didn't respond. The other day, I and another thing that's hurting my score is too many inquiries. Now, when I was applying for my mortgage, um, I was doing rate shopping, but everybody's like, within 4 months, it all counts up as one. But it didn't count as one. It counted as each time they pulled my credit, it counted as one inquiry. So I had like 19 inquiries on my credit. So I just sent them all a letter for that, and it's 355 for a certified mail, 410 if you don't have a stamp. Can you imagine? And I notarized it for free because your bank does it for free. So I'm gonna see what comes of that. So the thing is, what I'm gonna do is my plan is to pay off my cars, pay off my cars, and let my score increase. No, not let my score increase. Let Because when you're applying for a personal line of credit, your DTI is very important. Your debt to income is very important. So if I get rid of those two cars, my DTI is gonna drop. And then I just need to pay down those credit cards and for about 3 months. It depends on how fast the bureaus report because I know I'll pay them down and they'll still say, oh, balance is too high. I don't know what that means, but I think you have to wait 3 months. So for this year, that's my game plan is to get the cars off and um, so my DTI could boost and see what happens to get more credit so I could start. doing this velocity banking. Now, I am gonna show you guys my calculators that I've amassed, show you guys how it works, and hopefully you guys have gotten value from this. Have gotten value from this. So right now I'm working on chunking down, paying off my cars, and getting my credit score, getting my credit updated. I know how to get the score up, but I need to get the inquiries removed and that serious delinquency removed and late payment for Honda. It wasn't even really late, y'all. It was like I just forgot about it, and because I was paying it every week. So that week, in that time, I had my baby. So with everything with the baby, I just forgot one day, and Honda hit me with a late payment, and I had two cars with them. And I just sent them a goodwill letter, and they didn't. They sent me a letter saying they're not removing it. They removed it only from what Equifax, but TransUnion and Experience still has it. So if you guys know how I could get Honda to remove it, I would appreciate it. I have an excellent history with Honda. I never miss a payment before or after. So they're really playing hardball by not taking off this. So I'm gonna dispute it too. But if anybody has any info on how I could dispute this to get this late payment off, I would appreciate it. I really would. But my goal is to either amass credit cards to um get more credit, access to more credit, and at the same time I'm working on my credit. I'm not gonna apply for anything more. I'm just gonna American Express. They always increase your line and they don't do a hard pull. So I'm just gonna keep applying for a soft pull and see if they'll increase it. Now I've called Amazon. They increased my line from 1,000 to 3,000. I called Macy's. They increased it from 600 to 2,100. I called TJX. They increased it from 5 to 2.5. So having those increases, even I wished it was cash cards that were increasing my line. But anyway, in the long run, they help because they make my DTI, my utilization go down. So I'm gonna keep trying to increase them every 2 months. So they make my utilization go down. So I know exactly how to get my utilization go down. And thank God I have the income to make it go down. So I'm not worried about that. I know exactly how to do that. There's videos all over the internet that utilization down, down, down. So I know how. But it's just getting the inquiries off, getting the serious delinquent off, and getting the late payment off. Those three things I need to get off. That Chase is Chase. They suck because first they had it and they put it onto public records. Then they took it from public records and put it back in collection. And it's just $666. Like, ah, don't. But I'm gonna get it off. Um, Fingers crossed, I'm gonna get it off. And by the end of this year, I should have more credit. More credit. My income I work in the construction industry, and there's always construction jobs, but I'm on a project. My project um, completion date is supposed to be 2020. So I'll be making this good income at least until 2020, 2022. Sorry. I don't know what's going to happen after 2022. Chances are I will get another good paying job, but I don't know. So I want to make grass while the sun is shining. So my goal, I want to, in that time, I want to get at least knock off 50% of my mortgage. At least 50%. I want to, because I want to get rid of the PMI. I want to get to 20% so bad. I should have just forget about the cars and start chunking on the mortgage to get to 20%. But six is one, half dozen is the other. If I get rid of the cars, it frees up more cash flow. Almost $1,000 get added to my cash flow for me to attack the mortgage. So let me just get rid of the cars, and my first goal is to get to 20%. And then I have goals, guys. I have goals. I'm just gonna take you on this journey. I'm gonna take you on this journey because my end goal is to become a real estate investor. Started with my house, but I need to own my house first. Then I get go on to the next, and I have goals. I have goals. Anybody who's on here that would like to that come across my videos and would like to mentor me, I would invite that, and I would appreciate that. And if we get more minds that think like mine, that communicate together, share ideas together, we could make a little click. So I welcome that. I think my email is up here, so to reach out to me. And for now, that's where I'm at for now for my velocity banking is to acquire more credit, pay off my cars, and get to 20% equity. I have three goals that I want to achieve. In the short term, pay off the car and get more credit. Long term, not too long term, like 2 years is to get to 20%. And just side note, how I because my Citibank card with Costco doesn't allow balance transfers. So how I get the money off my Citibank credit card, how I turn that credit into cash is I have a PayPal account. Hopefully PayPal isn't listening to lockdown people. I have a PayPal account. I set up a PayPal account for my dad. So he has a different bank. I have a different bank because I tried to send the money to myself and they're like, you can't do that. So I send him the money from so I put $7,000. I send it from my PayPal account, which has my credit card on there. I send him the money. I pay. PayPal only charges 2.1%. So it's really cheap. It's even better than balance transfer. I send him the money. He gets the money the same day. Then all he does is transfers it to his bank, goes to his bank, withdraws the money. I take the money, deposit the cash into my account, and pay my car. That's how I do it. And when I get my pay, I put all my money on back to my card and redo it the next month. Now, the speed on how you do this depends on how much money you get paid, but it works at all levels. So go ahead join me on my journey and see how I improve as time goes on. So for right now, all the credit I have is, let me do my math real quick. I have $3,000 personal in a personal line of credit, plus I have 7,500 in a on a credit card, plus I have $1,000 in the American Express credit card that I have. So I have $11,500, plus I have $751 that for that Capital One card that I'm not gonna use. So let me minus that back out. And then I have my husband's card that has 1,500, which is 13,000, but I'm not gonna use my husband's card either because let him develop his own responsibilities himself. I'm not, and he maxed it out anyway, and I'm not gonna pay for it. So I'm just gonna be working with this 11,500. I'm gonna just leave $500 on it to buy gas and food, and then the rest I'm just gonna pay my mortgage. I'm just gonna use my Amazon card, and I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna live and I'll see how it works. But follow me, guys, follow me. If you know me, you know that I do some good stuff. I give some good advice. So just follow me as I go on this journey. Bye.